Hello, my name is Natasha Ioviro, and this is my presentation on the dark side of the internet, and the topic is identity theft. The internet can be used as a great tool, and it's one of the best advancements in technology for our generation. However, the internet can also be used as a weapon. It's important as educators that we are well informed on using the internet as a tool, but that we were also well informed on how the internet has dangers. There's a dark side to the internet, and there's very different ways in which the internet can be used as a weapon. As educators, we are the ones who are responsible for educating our students on the dark side of the internet. Today, my topic is identity theft, and I will be focusing on how identity theft is a negative aspect of the internet and how we need to make our students aware of identity theft and how it may affect them or it may affect someone that they know. So, what is identity theft? Identity theft occurs when someone uses your personal information to pretend to be you to commit fraud or gain for financial benefits. This personal information that can be stolen could be your full name, email address, online login and passwords, social security number, driver's license number, passport number, or bank number. So depending on what that thief takes from you, the severity or outcome of that identity theft will be greater. So something as simple as your full name can be used to steal your identity, but on a more severe level, a social security number or a bank number can be used directly to create accounts within your information, and the thief will use it for financial benefits. So they may rack up charges on your credit card, they may open up accounts in your names or credit cards in your names. They could even use your login and password information to create fake accounts in your names. So the list of negative effects just goes on and on depending on what access the online thief has from you. Criminals can gain access to these types of information and sell it on the dark web to commit identity theft. So the criminal who's stealing that information might not necessarily use it themselves, but they can sell it on the dark web to commit identity theft. Some statistics on identity theft are quite shocking. According to the National Bureau of Justice Statistics, in 2014 alone, 17.6 million people aged 16 and older, roughly 7% of Americans in that age group, fell victim to identity theft. So identity theft doesn't just happen to the elder population, but it's happening to people of many different generations. It's not something where people of a certain age are being targeted, but instead it's something that affects just millions of people. And it's a important note that our students need to be aware that this is happening, and they need to be aware of how it can happen and what information these online thieves are taking and what they're doing with it. And they need to become cautious and aware of identity theft and that it is a problem in today's society. One of the largest identity theft breaches was when Equifax, which is a consumer credit reporting agency, had a breach, and Equifax revealed that one of the largest breaches of consumers' private financial data in history was when 143 million consumers and access to the credit card data of 209,000. The industry group that manages the open source software in which the hack occurred blamed Equifax. So this was an event in which their systems got hacked, and they had 143 million consumers, and the thieves got access to credit card data of 109,000 industry groups. It was one of the largest identity theft occurrences in recent history. One specific topic of identity theft that I want to talk about that I think is more relevant to the younger student population is catfishing. Now, catfishing is when someone creates an online identity and seeks out online relationships. So a catfish will use someone else's photo, grab personal details such as work, educational history, and personal histories off the internet, and invent an entirely fictitious or fake life for his or her fictitious identity. So what's happening is individuals are stealing people's identity and then creating personal accounts, and they are really just tricking people for personal information or for relationship gain. So I think catfishing is one aspect of identity theft that is really relevant to the student population, and it's something that we need to educate our students about. They need to know that they need to be careful who they're speaking to online. They also need to be careful about what personal information they are putting where, and that they could be a victim of identity theft. Overall, I think that the pros of the internet outweigh the cons and some of the concerns of the dark web, but it's important as educators that we know what these concerns are and that we could further educate our students in how to be proactive against things like identity theft. And one way is that they can be secure that they're using sites that are safe sites and that they aren't putting personal information in places where they shouldn't be. And when they get a little bit older, one way to check on identity theft is to constantly check your purchases online and make sure that they are in line with what you're buying. And in the case that they aren't, you can contact your credit card company or file an identity theft claim. These are the resources I use. Here are the references for my online sources as well as my visual images. Thank you for listening to my presentation on identity theft.